What's good, everyone? It's Zach, and of course, welcome back to Grailboundgaming. In today's video, I'm going to talk about selling your video games. That's right. Did you know that you can not only sell your video games, but you can do it without the need of a reseller? So clearly, over the past couple years, what I've been seeing on YouTube is content creators and, of course, people that are featured in videos of some fellow content creators that have sold their entire collections, right? And they pretty much sell it for a percentage of the market value, which means that they're not getting like the full market value for the games. There's some percentage, of course, that they pretty much get in return. And that percentage can easily range from like 40 to 60%. Sometimes it may be 70, but on average, it's like 45 to 50% for an entire collection. And when it comes to selling your video games, you can break it up into two different categories, depending on the mindset of the person that's selling their collection. So the first category, of course, is convenience-based, and then the second category is profit-based. So when we're talking about convenience-based, we're talking about, a person choosing to sell their collection, but not only choosing to sell their collection, they don't want to go through the amount of work that it takes in order to, ready a game to be fully processed before it actually gets sold, right? So there's a lot of steps that go in between, right? In order to get a game to be ready to be sold. You not only have to clean the game, you have to test it, you have to determine its price, you have to actually label the price onto it. And then of course, if you are, shipping games online or selling games online, you have to package it up, ship it off through like some type of carrier, right? Like UPS or USPS. So there's a lot of steps in between in order to get a game ready to be sold. And they don't necessarily want to have to deal with all that work. They'd rather just offload their collection to a reseller and have the reseller do all that. Another reason might be because of like fear, right? There might be fear, there might be some hesitation, because let's just face it, I've seen videos on this platform where some people are like, selling games isn't for me. It seems very stressful, it seems very time consuming, it seems very burdensome. And ultimately, I'll say this, if you've never sold your games before, don't listen to what other people are saying. Instead, just make the decision to do it yourself. And you could take it slow and just take it step by step to see if this is something that you would like to do. But anyhow, I kind of digress, because going back to, to people offloading their collections to resellers, I mentioned before, they're going to get a percentage of the market value for those games. And ultimately, when you don't want to do the work that it takes to get a game ready to be sold, it's going to be passed on to the reseller, right? The reseller is now responsible for getting that game ready. And of course, with more work, there has to be more pay. So it explains why, of course, when you bring games to a reseller, you're going to get like 40 to 50%, maybe 60%, whatever the percentage is, you're just going to get a cut in value. Now, if we go to profit-based, then profit-based means that it's the mindset of like, okay, I want to be able to sell these games from my collection. I'm done with them. I don't need them anymore, but I would like to have some money back in my pocket to use for other things, right? And not only that, but I want to maximize the amount of money that I profit. And that's pretty much what profit-based is. There's plenty of reasons why people decide to sell their video game collections. Ultimately, it could be due to maybe wanting to get more games, maybe a mid to high dollar game to add to your collection that you've always wanted. Some people choose to pay off debt. Some people choose to, save that money for an emergency, or even to use it on vacation. But listen, whatever the situation is, whatever the reason is, you don't need resellers. You can put in the work and do it yourself. So I wanted to, at first, touch on those two categories as far as the mindset of the individual. And then, of course, I want to expand a little bit on about why I think you should sell games on your own, in addition to, of course, just getting a cut in the market value. One of the reasons is because, my fellow collectors out there, you can all vouch for this. It takes time, it takes physical exertion and money just to get games added to your collection. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I'm sure you've seen some of my game hunting videos. And if you haven't, then definitely go and check those out. But yeah, it takes time, to get out there, to go look to add games to your collection. If you go to a convention, right, it's not cheap. You know, especially if you have to travel out of state, you have to pay for airfare, lodging, maybe a rental vehicle, food, of course, and of course, you know, tickets in order to get into the convention. It can all add up in price, like hundreds to even thousands of dollars, you know, because you're going to be looking for games to add to your collection. And the way that I see it is like, if you have expended so much of those resources that I mentioned in order to acquire a game for your collection, then why not would you be willing to, in a sense, reimburse yourself or invest in yourself? And if there's anything that I want anyone who's watching this video to know, is that I think it's very important to invest in yourself. And what I mean by that is like not seeing video games as an investment. Like the reason I buy video games and collect video games is to eventually play them. I don't see, you know, games as like a long-term investment, or I don't, you know, go after certain high dollar games just because, oh, it'll be expensive later on. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I mean by investing in yourself is giving yourself more profit to do things that you want to do with your money, right? Versus giving it to a reseller or someone that owns a store and making them richer, you know, helping their business grow and like prosper. Instead, you need to take a step back and honestly do that for yourself. And, you know, for any resellers watching this video, if you do feel offended, resellers or anyone else, then just know that at the end of the day, business is business and it shouldn't be personal. It really shouldn't, right? Like a customer can walk into your store or send you a bunch of video games. You give them an offer and they realize that, you know what? I don't like this offer, you know, like it doesn't work out for them. Then what do? They leave. I've seen it happen in real time, especially with some of the local video game stores that I've been in. And of course, I've seen the flip side where you bring in some games, you know, to sell for trade credit or for cash, and that transaction works out. So regardless of, you know, who it is, whether it's the reseller or the customer, some transactions work out and others don't. But at the end of the day, we don't need to get personal about it. Business is just business. Like for me, I'll be the first to admit, you know, when it comes to my local retro video game stores, there have been times where I've, you know, brought in games to put towards store credit. You know, I bring it in for trade for store credit, and what they're offering, the amount that they're offering, nah, I'm good. It's just too low for me in that moment. So I choose to just walk away. But does that mean that I stop supporting those local retro video game stores just because I got, you know, an offer for some, you know, trade-in credit that I thought wasn't good for me? Absolutely not. I continue to go to those local video game stores. I continue to support them. So before anyone says, Zach, you're an anti-reseller, that is far from the truth. There's evidence easily, of course, through my videos on the channel, but I always tell people in my videos, always support your local mom and pop shops. Always support them, because at times they may have inventory that you are looking for, right? There might be a specific, you know, mid to high dollar game that you want for your collection that you want to find locally and not have to pay online or even go to a convention, and they have it there at the store and you can go get it in person, you can inspect it, and you can buy it. So it all works out for both parties. So once again, you know, when it comes to selling your video games, I just want to empower you all to do it. You do not need a reseller. And if you think that the process of selling your video games is, you know, a burden, it's stressful, like I said, take it one step at a time. Start with 5 games, increase it to 10 games. And, you know, it's so easy to sell video games these days. You know, if you want to sell them online, like on eBay, as well as Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, there's just a ton of ways to sell video games, right? Like, I mean, there's like a local trade event that happened like maybe 2 or 3 times out of the year in my area. I mean, there's even smaller conventions and things like that. Like, there's opportunities for you to get out there and to sell your video games. So don't feel like you have to subject yourself to, you know, going to a reseller and only getting a percentage of the price. Because ultimately, they're going to profit off of the games, right? If they're giving their customers like 50% of the market value for their collection, then that means that they're going to, you know, double it and even triple it to get into that profit margin. Some sellers sell on Amazon. So I don't know if you've all have been to Amazon or not and seen the prices for retro video games, but man, that market is so much higher than eBay. Like just go look up Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, and you'll see how much it's selling for, and it is insane. Like, I was even at GameStop the other day. I know this is kind of tangent to Amazon, but I was at GameStop the other day, and they were selling, Wii Sports Resort for $45. So I'm pretty sure with Amazon, it's probably 50 or even 55, just to sell it. So yeah, at the end of the day, I just want to encourage you all out there to do what it takes to put more money to your pocket, investing in yourself so that you can go do whatever it is that you want to do with the money that you make, right? If you want to go on vacation, do that. If you want to save it, if you want to buy more games, then do as you please. But at the end of the day, just know, right? Just know that you can sell your video games without the need for resellers. So with all that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in to today's video where I was able to share my thoughts on selling your video games. I'm definitely interested to hear your thoughts on this particular topic. So feel free to, drop a response in the comment section down below. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Until then, I'm out.